Everybody. I am here with Mark Dunn, who is a self awareness speaker, and I'm looking forward to hearing all about you, Mark. Thanks for being with me.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm excited to hear. So, tell us first a little bit about what do you do?
Well, I'll start off with a little bit of a background. I graduated from Carleton University with a sociology anthropology degree. And my first job out of university was working as a teacher and a residential counselor at a private school. Did that for about 5 years. Then I transitioned into mental health and worked in the mental health profession for almost 9 years as a case manager slash therapist for youth between the age of 16 and 24 that were diagnosed with a mood disorder or schizophrenia. And then I made this transition into fundraising and I did some work with Sick Kids Hospital for about a year and a half and moved into business development for a staffing firm. And here I am today with doing my speaking as well, because I've always been working on my speaking engagements as a self-awareness speaker. My content is intended not to be motivational. It's actually intended for you to do a what I call a self-audit of your strengths, talents, and abilities in order for you to bring value to both professional place of work as well as your personal life.
Okay, well, you answered all my questions. I think we're done. Okay, well, that's awesome. So, where do you speak? Like, what are you?
So speaking engagements vary from client to client. 100% transparent, I can say to you that most people find me through social media. LinkedIn has been a really great source from a professional standpoint. I've gotten a lot of attention. And within LinkedIn, what it does for me is that I do daily content that I post that intrigues people around what I do. So I get more people inquiring based upon what they're seeing in my activity on a daily basis. And I'm able to connect with them and then customize self-awareness workshops if it's for corporate culture development, if it's for the individuals that are looking for that self-awareness audit that I mentioned, or if it's just for HR and human resources where they're looking to enhance what they're already doing, with myself coming in as the framework or the foundation to establish core principles that are associated to humanity, mental health, your perspective of staying in your own lane, running at your own pace, and bringing value without trying to keep up with the Joneses. It's a really school of thought that allows for people to feel that they can connect to the whole better.
Perfect. You guys see me looking down because I'm trying to do these shares on my phone because the computer doesn't do it. So, okay, so people can hire you to speak, or they can hire you as can they hire you as a coach too to work with their team?
Yep, there's a process involved. So what I do is offer just I don't like to call it like a free service, but basically people can connect with me to find out what I can do for them if I'm a good fit for them. And then what I do is I then put together a seminar, workshop program that is going to benefit their needs. And they hire me for a specific purpose. So what that does for my clients is that they actually get what exactly they're looking for. Where I've received feedback, not on myself, but on what they've received in the past from other people, is that they've been sold a bag of goods up front that sounds really good. They've shelled out a lot of money. And then when they've gotten what they were looking for, it wasn't what they planned on because that person was speaking from a completely different perspective. So I'm very transparent in my process to help my clients understand the value that they're getting, and then I deliver on those deliverables.
You're customizing it as per.
Yeah, because when they invest their time and money in me, what they're going to get back 10 times more than what they've invested.
And I know you already told us a little bit of your history. Um, is this something that you always wanted to do? Did you always want to speak? Did you always want to coach businesses?
Well, I mean, the process of going through life has a great way of teaching you things about yourself. And I can't say in good faith that I'm going to share content with organizations or individuals if I'm not living it or have experience of it myself. The truth of the matter is, my journey has allowed for me to develop a lot of references to demonstrate that as human beings, regardless of color, race, gender, whatever the case may be, we have the same kind of human needs of wanting certain things or uh, goal oriented about ourselves. And over time, due to the complications of life, we complicate even our own existence because we get caught up in a world of status and chasing and achievement and those things equaling significance to make me feel important. And we lose sight of, in essence, what the journey of life really is all about. And what I did within my own life and process of that, by using one example, is academically, I was never the student that was going to go to university because strategically they had already said that I'd be doing something good with my hands. I would be a general laborer working shift work at a Ford plant or GM or doing something of that nature, which by 100% standards, nothing wrong with that. But the truth is, I saw more in myself than what others saw. And what I did was I tested the status quo and went against the grain and to see if they were right or if I was right. And when I actually bet on myself, I was able to put myself in the process where I knew that I was running a journey based on staying in my own lane because I had the capabilities of understanding my self-awareness from the strengths I had and the insufficiencies or weaknesses I had. And I spent time realizing that it's a marathon over a sprint. So the more I was able to be a marathon runner, the more endurance I developed, the stronger I was getting. So when I look at life right now, a lot of people may have gone through that cookie cutter approach of life of going to school, getting an education, going to university, college, getting that career, having that family, et cetera, and followed all that. But now I'm kind of catching up to that. So it doesn't matter how you start, it matters how you finish. And I've always kept that in the back of my head to always be someone who's always going to stay grounded in who I am from an authentic framework for both myself and how I present myself to the world. And that's helped me graduate into this life of engaging with people, speaking with companies or speaking with individuals or speaking to groups because it's coming from a place that is not about seeking status. It's coming from a place of using my personal example and vulnerabilities to enhance and inspire hope in order for someone to see change for themselves.
Really love that. Love that. And okay, so who would what would be happening with somebody right now or with their business where they would be like, okay, I have to call Mark. What does that person look like? What does their business look like?
Sure. I mean, businesses from a certain extent, especially with COVID-19 right now, they're all taking a reevaluation of their business models, right? So I'm not someone who can come to them with strategies and tips on that. What I can come with is a framework that's going to help your work culture or corporate culture have people see value within themselves versus feeling that they're replaceable like a chair. Because what has happened over time with businesses prior to COVID was that the people who were looking for work were desperate for work, and the people who had the jobs knew that they were in control. Not all companies were like this, and not all businesses were like this, but there was those that could manipulate because people who were looking for work were looking out of fear because they needed bills to pay. And then when they came into a place of work, they're coming into a place of work with not their heart and mind rested. They're coming in with more anxiety, worry, because they don't know if they're going to learn the job fast enough, if they're going to be in a position to stay in the job. Am I getting fired? Am I getting a pink slip? Is the company downsizing? And what ends up happening to most people is they're taking on the burdens of things they can't control, but they can hear within a work culture, and it's impacting them both personally and professionally. So what I want to do with the work culture or corporate culture is bring in tips and strategies that's going to help them from a self-awareness perspective for the individuals so that they're better at work as much as they're better at home. If you can create a safe place for people to be safe within themselves, you're going to get the best out of them. And more importantly, a lot of people were going to work prior to COVID-19 feeling unsafe within themselves, feeling uncomfortable within themselves because of the things that they were bombarded with and worried about. And that's all that was there. So at the end of the day, my job is to come in and assess that and see how I can bring value to that.
I love that. I love that. And to touch on your point, when from your previous comments, when you were talking about growing up and people just kind of putting you in a box and saying, this is what you're going to do. You're going to be a physical laborer. You're going to, deciding you're going to be a tradesman, right? And you're
Yep.
no, I don't feel that, right? And there's nothing
Yep.
wrong with being a tradesman. Those are great professions, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I see the little cutie behind you.
Yeah, he's supposed to be in school right now, but he's on a break, so sorry about that.
But I love how you went with your heart and your gut and
Hmm.
said, what, that's not what I feel for myself, right? That I want to go after what I'm passionate about. And I love hearing from people that they go after what they're passionate about. And so many times in life, someone else will tell you, you should be this or you should do that, or whether it's parents or teachers or whoever, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Just deciding that, this is what you're going to be. Because maybe, some of us are stinkers in school, some of us didn't do so well in school, some of us did amazing in school, and they kind of judge us based on those things and say, oh, well, you're going to be this, or you're not going to amount to that, or whatever. But the reality is, we all grow up, right? We all grow
Yes,
up.
we all have a significant purpose on this earth, and the truth of the matter is let's just like our fingerprints are unique, we are all born to be elite because we are unique. We have a gift. The gift is not just some cliche word I'm saying, but we have a gift and a purpose to give something of value. It doesn't mean that your gift is to go get the degree and then pursue the career with status and income and acknowledgement and cheers and all that, and you still feel empty, because when you die, you're going to be dying empty anyways. The whole idea is that you want to leave 6 feet above ground your legacy that's memorable. You don't want to go to your grave easily forgotten, because the truth is, all those things that are earthly possessions that you're seeking and chasing, that you're trying to fulfill, that's only fulfilling you for a moment in time. Because when that is all gone, and you not the lights are off and you're there, where are you in yourself, and what do you have left for yourself? That's when you start to realize you don't have self-awareness, you don't have the understanding of gratitude, perspective, and looking at life from not fleeting commodities, but from your existence and being here, and how you can impact someone, and how you can bring value to a company, and how you can possibly be an architect in changing the world through your example, not through your talking, but through your example, through your existence.
Exactly. So you already touched on the charitable and giving back, and I love that that's important to you. It's
Mhm.
very important to me as well. And can you give us some tips or suggestions that you might have for the people who are listening? And it can be anything, personal, professional, whatever resonates with you right now.
Tips on life is for one, how you start your day. Are you starting it with gratitude? I think when waking up every day, especially in the time that we're in, it's not just that we need to have gratitude because of COVID-19. We should be exercising gratitude before all this even happened. So how do you start your day mentally? How do you get up in the morning? Do you say thank you, or do you say, oh crap, it's another day, I'm tired, I'm sore, I can't do this? And then you start creating these thoughts in your head that end up playing out in your day, right? So gratitude is number one. Number two, I would want to say empathy is, having that perspective of being empathetic. The reason why I feel those first two are so important is because that's what most people are struggling with and missing, is gratitude and empathy. Number three, I would say integrity. Having integrity about yourself, because you're a walking, talking billboard, is so important. People no longer can be sold false hopes based on the ideology that you present as someone intelligent who dresses well, who's sharp, on the ball, and has this car to add this perception to. Because the truth of the matter is, those things are just basically hiding your insecurities over time, and life will expose you at some point in time. So be true to yourself, right? With integrity. I would say number four is humility. I can't stress enough the importance of being humble in a place of time when your worst day is someone's best day. I don't believe that when you wake up every day that you have something to criticize. I really don't. Because if you're criticizing about a job, you should be grateful and and be humble enough that you have it, because there's people out there who don't. If you're, picking on the fact that your house's renovations are not done, but yet you have something to keep you warm, there's more homeless people on the road today than ever. If you're feeling pain in your lower back and legs, and you're saying, oh my gosh, it's pain, and I'm bitter and I'm angry and I'm agitated, I want you to take a moment and think what that person on their deathbed who's taken their last breath feels like. They would rather be in your shoes. You see, having the humility and gratitude and perspective on life around your existence is so important. So it's almost like creating this bubble of yourself, but you're not, you know, uh, not steering yourself away from people, but you're just having this bubble of knowing that you have this mindset, these principles, these ideologies about keeping you stable, because life will happen, but you'll be able to process these things more effectively and efficiently when you are keeping in line your mindset and your heart with gratitude, empathy, integrity, humility, and having this grace about yourself. And it will shine. People will see it even though you don't see it. A great example is, I have many people over the years say, when you look at Mark, you would never know what's going on with him because he's always the same. And it's true. I I just I don't really have anything. Like, I don't believe in stress. And if stress is there and someone's telling me I'm stressed, it's because they want to put their stress on me to try to condition me to believe that it's real. I believe that we have challenges, we have difficulties, yes. But I also believe that when stress and anxiety and worry come in, to a certain degree, the reason why those things come in is because you're trying to be in control of something you have no control of. I have no control of this economy. Why am I stressed about it? I have no control of what's going on with the government. So why am I stressed about it? I have no control of the groceries going up every day, but I still need food to eat. I have no control over the gasoline that I'm paying for my truck that's more and more expensive, but yet I got to put gas in the truck. There's no need to complain. It's just a matter of being able to understand how life works for you while staying in your lane, and staying in your lane with perspective over perception.
I love that. I love that. And, it all comes down to mindset, right? And controlling your mindset. And I
You
think,
can control it, and you can control it. It's a choice.
yeah, I believe that because you can retrain your brain to think in different ways. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, from personal experience, I know it. So I believe it to be true.
Yep. But we're very few of many who think that way. Just to give you credit for knowing that you have that insight and understanding, very few and many. Because if we had the same, if people thought on the same lines of that perspective and philosophy, I think we would have less problems in our society than what we're dealing with right now.
Totally agree with that. So how can people get a hold of you, Mark?
Well, first of all, if through social media, LinkedIn is a great tool because it is a professional tool, and the reason why I use LinkedIn as my first line of getting a hold of me is because you'll see all of my credentials and experience, and everything's transparent in front of you there. It also, you know, email can work at mdhopeforthefuture@gmail.com. So that's MD Mark Dunn, so MD, and you could email me as well. You can also, if you choose to, when you connect with me through LinkedIn, just send me a message and I'm happy to set up a time where we can connect either through Zoom or over the phone, have like a coffee meet and greet just to connect through virtual. And I can see how I can support you, help you, maybe figure out if there's you know, if you have a need, where that need is, and what I can do for you along those lines as well.
Love it. Thank you. And of course, we'll have all your contact info on the page when we share you on the website. Thank
Awesome.
you so much, Mark, for doing everything that you do and for sharing with us today.
No, you're very welcome. It's an honor and privilege to be here with you as well, and I thank you for allowing me to be a part of your platform. And if I can say, as we're going through these challenging times, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's very important for us to really spend not just time to self-isolate to protect us from what the health concerns, but we also need to self-isolate to get to understand us. And when you spend time working on you, as this economy moves forward and as things slowly start to open up at some point, you'll be a better person to prepare for how you can live to be effective and efficient in this new world that we're heading into, because you can't go in with the same mentality and approach that we left behind prior to COVID while moving forward in a new world era where things are going to be full of more uncertainty, but more technology driven and focusing more on empathy, gratitude, self-awareness, and humility and grace, because those are things that's going to build long-term relationships in business and in life.
Love it. Thank you so much, Mark.
You're
And
very welcome.
can't wait to share.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, and all the best to you. And please keep in touch anytime. And everybody out there, have yourselves a wonderful, safe, and great day ahead.
Absolutely. You too, Mark. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.